Hi, my name is Ashley Taylor, and I'm from a small town off the coast of South Carolina called Beaufort. You may be wondering why it's even relevant for me to mention where I'm from, but the town I grew up in is located directly on the Atlantic Ocean. So the ocean was a huge part of my life growing up. I spent every weekend doing something on the water with my family. As I matured, I started seeing in the news and in society how heavily polluted our oceans are, and I really wanted to make a difference in any way I could. This is why I chose two infographics about how humans harm and pollute our oceans. Because in my opinion, the first step to fixing problems is understanding what the problem really is. So in this case, it is about understanding what we are doing as humans that is causing harm to our oceans. This first infographic, called Sunscreen, Chemicals, and Marine Life, focuses on how sunscreen chemicals negatively impact our environment, specifically the ocean. The audience of this infographic is anyone who uses sunscreen, so probably everyone who spends long periods of time in direct sunlight. The infographic is very appealing to look at. There are lots of visuals, which I'll discuss them as I break down each part of the infographic. I'd also like to note how I mentioned earlier that we need to be able to understand the problem before we can come to solutions. This infographic is ordered in the same manner. As they discuss how sunscreen harms the ocean's ecosystem, then they list alternatives to using sunscreen, i.e., you must learn the problem to be able to solve the problem. To get into the details of this infographic, some of the chemicals used to create sunscreen are not bio-friendly. Those chemicals included in sunscreen are these chemicals, according to this infographic, specifically affect green algae, sea urchins, coral, fish, mussels, and dolphins. For green algae, they, referring to the chemicals, can impair growth and photosynthesis. For sea urchins, they can damage the immune and reproductive systems and deform younger urchins. For coral, they accumulate in tissues which can induce bleaching, damage DNA, deform the young, and even kill. For fish, they can decrease fertility and reproduction and cause female characteristics in male fish. For mussels, they can induce defects in the young. For dolphins, they can accumulate in tissues and be transferred to young. Some alternatives to wearing sunscreen are to seek shade. They can be done by using an umbrella, a sun hat, UV sunglasses, a sun shirt, leggings, and anything of that sort. The second infographic I'm analyzing is about plastics in our oceans. The audience of this infographic is basically all consumers, as I'd assume everyone has at least once in their lifetime used some type of plastic. It's no surprise to anyone that plastic can be found in basically anything, from packaging to beach toys. Most people are also aware plastic is not biodegradable. 54% of marine mammal species on the threatened list have been observed entangled in or ingesting plastic. Americans use roughly 100 billion plastic bags per year, and plastic bags can take 400 to 1,000 years to decompose. Why is plastic so bad for the environment, you may ask, specifically the ocean? To get more of an idea, take a second to read this section of the infographic. Now that you understand more about ways humans harm the ocean and saw some numbers to actually realize how bad some materials like plastic and sunscreen are for the ocean, I created an infographic that focuses primarily on ways we can help the ocean. The first tip I created to helping the ocean is to check your labels. Look for the Marine Stewardship Council and Aquaculture Stewardship Council labels. Their blue and green fish logos on your seafood ensures your fish can be traced back to sustainably managed fisheries and farms. My second tip is to skip the single-use plastics. Single-use plastics such as non-reusable water bottles, takeout packaging, plastic bags, and straws pollute our ocean and can destroy ecosystems and endanger marine life. If every American sipped out of just 5 fewer straws per year, we could keep more than 1.5 billion straws out of our landfills and our ocean. My third tip may be an obvious one, but is to always recycle. Non-recycled items end up reaching the ocean if you don't do this. Do not be lazy and make full use of the recycling depots already located within your neighborhood. This fourth tip is probably one of my bigger tips, but it is to reduce your carbon footprint. You can reduce your carbon footprint by adopting some of these simple measures. You can ride a bike, walk, or use public transportation rather than driving a car. Turn off the lights when you leave a room. Put on a sweater in the winter instead of turning up your thermostat. It is that easy, and just small steps like this can make drastic changes in life. My fifth tip goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, where you have to be able to understand the problem to be able to make solutions to the problem, and that is to increase your ocean IQ. The more you learn about the ocean, the better prepared you'll be to inspire change and help others do the same. To wrap things up, I just wanted to say being an advocate for the ocean can be as simple as speaking out about the importance of this vast ecosystem. Tell your friends and family why the ocean really matters, and let our leaders know that you side with the ocean.